Marlon James. Marlon James. I'm very excited to introduce this book by Marlon James. Hi all, this is Kia of Kia Comments, and I'm coming back with another video. I'm going to be reviewing the book, A Brief History of 7 Killings by the Jamaican writer Marlon James. Now, the book is a fictionalized version of the real-life event of the attempted assassination on Bob Marley in December of 1976. At the time, Jamaica was an interesting political hotbed, and there was a lot of tension between the two political parties in the country. There was a political party that had more socialist ideals, and there was a political party that was more capitalist in its ideals. And when Bob Marley was shot, the political parties were 2 weeks away from a national general election. So in James's novel, the book follows the events leading up to the attempted assassination on a character known as the Singer, and it also follows the events after the attempted assassination of the Singer has occurred. Now, the book has many characters. There's Papa Lo of Copenhagen City, who runs one of the gangs in the novel. There is Shota Sheriff of the 8 Lanes, who runs the other gang in the city of Kingston. There's Josie Wales, who is Papa Lo's deputy in command. There is Weeper, who is close friends with Josie Wales. There's Nina Burgess, who has an intimate relationship with the Singer. There's Alex Pierce, who is a journalist from the Rolling Stone, come to cover the Singer. There's a Cuban mercenary. There's CIA agents. There are the 7 boys who attempt to assassinate the Singer, and who Marlon James renders beautifully in this novel. Now, on top of having multiple characters, Marlon James also moves his readers to several cities. We are in Kingston, Jamaica, we are in Miami, Florida briefly, and we're in New York City. Setting plays a large role in the novel, specifically in reference to Kingston, Jamaica, and I would argue that Jamaica is a character in and unto itself in this novel. The way that Marlon James renders setting is tactile and unsentimental in his view. From the dirt roads to the bus stop to the bars to the jail cells, we see people really suffering, but we also see that Jamaica is really beautiful. I feel as though the way that James intertwines settings with each character does so much to enhance the novel's authenticity. The novel is voice-driven, so if you like that kind of narrative, you are in for a treat. And my favorite voices were the voices of the 7 boys who attempted to kill the Singer. I was invested in these boys because Marlon does a really great job of showing them compassionately. One of the boys watches his parents murdered at an early age. Another boy is falsely accused of a crime and suffers at the hands of severe police brutality. James does not shy away from violence in this novel. It is unflinching and hard-hitting, and it looks at what is going on in Kingston directly. James's characters are complex, and everyone is a villain and everyone is a victim. Going back to the fact that this novel is voice-driven, James writes his prose in patois, and I found that very refreshing, and I just loved the lyricism and the music of the language. I've lived in Jamaica for 2 years, and to read patois on the page was to be in Jamaica again. There are a lot of explicit and implicit statements about class in this novel, and I feel as though writing the book in patois does a lot of work for showing the class stratosphere, a hierarchy for lack of a better term, that happens in Jamaica still, and that happened at that time. James also does a good job handling sexuality, or rather homosexuality, in the novel. Jamaica at the time was extremely homophobic, and the homosexual in the novel is in extreme denial. That does not, however, mean that the homosexual in the novel does not feel love for other individuals, but he does suffer a lot of personal angst that I found very moving. James also does a good job of demonstrating how foreigners come into a country with certain intentions and leave the country having been changed, because Jamaica is not a country that molds to you. You are an individual that molds to the country, Jamaica. This is also a plot-driven narrative, and aside from a close look at the attempted assassination on the Singer, readers get a close look at the rising tensions between the two political parties in Jamaica. They get a close look at the CIA interest from the U.S. government in Jamaica, because Jamaica was socialist at the time, And we get a look at the increased drug trade in Jamaica, which takes us ultimately out of Jamaica into Miami, Florida, and New York City. This book is for anybody interested in the Caribbean. This book is for anybody who likes historical narrative. This book is for anybody who is interested in novels where there are multiple points of view. This book is for anybody who loves language and metaphor and an individual who can really write prose and turn a phrase. Think Junot Diaz, The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. Think Toni Morrison's Sula or Song of Solomon or Beloved. Think Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude. Think Patricia Powell's The Pagoda or Barbara Kingsolver's The Poisonwood Bible, both of which I plan to review. Thank you for watching, and remember, keep reading, keep writing, keep reviewing. Bye now.